talk.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
10. Oh, I need to change.
What? Okay. Okay.
See how that goes. Does not say that we're not live. There we go. Say that we're not live.
Go. Good to go. Playing some Warzone
There we go.
last night. Straight Wi-Fi. Zero
Straight
lag.
trash. I heard that game's still trash.
It's the same stuff. It's definitely the same stuff.
Yo. All right.
Boo.
Ready to go? Know where we're
Indeed.
going? All right. What's up, fans? Welcome to episode 6, Untapped Keg Sports, for now. How you doing there, Mons?
I'm good. I'm alive and well. Doing well. Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm really good. Yeah, it was a really good week of work. I was talking to my coworker about that. It's like, I don't know what it was, but I got up in the bucket a lot this week. That helps because I really enjoy being and doing the work. So
yeah, that's good. That's good. I see in your reflection of your glasses, you got a ring light.
yeah. Look a little different. You really see the silver fox in the beard now.
Right. Absolutely. So, what is up? I want to get right into it.
I do too, because I tell you what.
Get right into it.
I tell you what. That game was stolen from us. It was stolen. The fix was in from the very beginning. The FCF is against the Wild Aces because they know we're the most dominant team in the league, and they got to give everybody else a chance. That's what I know. That's what I know.
That game was not fixed.
The fix was in.
You guys just don't know how to close. That's just what it is. You guys do not know how to close. You guys just don't know how to close. That's just what it is. Glacier boys know how to close out games. Why? Because we got ice in our veins. That's why. Ice in our veins.
Is that
ice in our necks? Ice in our
Is that
earrings.
why you were frozen in your shoes when you played us in the first week? That game wasn't even close. It was only close because you scored like right at the end of the game.
That's how you know that.
What's up, Dan the man?
That's how you know you're a little nervous. You got to go back to the first week. We're past the first week. Past the first week. We learned from the first week and then came back and beat y'all. Wait. No, we didn't. No, we lost to y'all. We have not played y'all again yet.
You beat the Zappers. Congratulations. You beat the team that's 0-2. Whose quarterback is so out of shape that he's already getting surgery because he ran too much.
Dan the man. What's going on, Dan? Dan the man. Good to see you. Good to see you. But yeah, some FCF football though. Okay, yeah. So obviously RJ is the Wild Aces. I am the Glacier Boys. The Glacier Boys are 1-1. The Wild Aces are 1-1 as well. So as much trash talking as he's going to bring today, just remember the record is 1-1 for both.
Just remember that if the game was called fairly, we would be 2-0 and everybody else would be behind us. The FCF's just jealous because we come out the boot and we have, 7/10 of the fans in this league. We have all the personality. Like if it wasn't for us, the Glacier Boys, they'd be a wet noodle. But we are the sauce that wets that noodle so that now there's a little bit of flavor there. We brought the juice.
What happened?
We brought that.
What happened?
What do you mean what happened?
What happened last week?
We got to talk to the commissioner. We got to talk to him. We got to ask him, why is the fix in? Why is there an interception that's clearly an interception that's called a drop?
We're talking FCF. I thought you were talking about the Packers. Because it's about the same bell. The bell is split. Packers,
wow,
Aces, and they just freaking ring it. That's all you guys do. Refs. Commissioner screwed us. Just ring it.
We're not the Patriots.
So, Glacier Boys play the Zapper. So again, FCF football. We're talking just 4 teams. So it's quick.
I believe it's called the Zippers.
The Zappers. And quick turnaround. So first week, Glacier Boys played Wild Aces. We did fall short. Second week, this past Saturday, we played the Zappers. Zappers is the team that Johnny Manziel is the quarterback at. And we won. It was a very exciting game match, actually. And I honestly, I'm just really glad to see that we turned it around. I mean, in a league like this, I mean, you could be the Zappers. You can come out 0-2 and just chalk it up and say, oh, it's just a new league. We're still trying to just find ourselves. No, screw that. We're coming out the gate. We're 1-1. Lost to a good team. I'll give it to you. Wild Aces are a good team. In my honest opinion, if I had to rank the league right now, number 1 would be the Beasts. 2.
Number 1 would be the Wild Aces. 2 would be the Beasts with an asterisk.
I'd give it to the Beasts for 1. But I honestly would. I think it's a tie. I'm going to lean with the Glacier Boys as number 2, though. I'm leaning with the Glacier Boys as number 2. And then you guys number 3, Zappers 4th. But we turned around after our first loss. We came out the gate of the season 0-1, turned it around and played the Zappers this past week and came out with a victory, an exciting one. What happened to the Aces, though?
An exciting victory. Man.
What happened to the Aces? Like the last,
got trashed.
Seconds of the game.
There was so what happened was there was an escape at the zoo and zebras ran across the field and then they stole the game from us. And it was like, what just happened? And they're like, I'm sorry, the game's over. That's how it had to be. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Yo, Knee Brace, what's up? Good to see you, Knee Brace. Good to see you. You running some doing a little Nightmares 2 race. Yeah, that's a pretty entertaining game.
I had nightmares last night, but we don't need to talk about it.
Who do you guys have this weekend?
The Zippers. Johnny Manziel. So, on a serious note, both games were extremely competitive this week.
They were.
It was a lot quicker pace to the games. I thought they did a better job with the camera angles, but they still need to work on it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not too fond of the drone. I think it's a cool look. I think it's
Yeah.
a cool little extra, but they haven't mastered it
We
yet.
needed to see some more helmet cams too. Like we saw some pretty cool ones, but we need to see that more. Um,
I agree.
I really the football was good. Like it was good football. I would love to see some more defensive plays.
More defensive plays. I see. I'm right there with you when the football's. Again, we're talking fan control football league. We're talking a football league's first year with only 4 teams and only 2 weeks in. And we've seen a huge improvement from week 1 to week 2. Week 1, I'll be honest. Week 1, I was like, yo, this is entertaining, but I don't know if this league is going to make it. Now, do I think, obviously just watching them 2 times now, do I think there's a major difference? Not necessarily, but there was a slight difference. I liked the speed of the game week 2. If you watched both weeks, you'd most definitely noticed it.
and
The speed of the game was
the
different.
the fact that they were able to adapt and roll with the punches so
Yeah.
well is speaks very highly to the league. I was in on the draft last night, and they do such a good job. Like, so they have the drills beforehand,
Okay.
so that fans can watch, and then that usually affects how they're played. But like they have these power plays too, which came into effect last week that we didn't notice the first week, where an offense can have a power play. So if a quarterback and skill position player, they score the most points in like the one-on-one drills, they get power plays. So if the quarterback runs it, the defense gets one less defender until there's a stop or a score,
Power play,
which is really cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So like, it's like a power up thing.
Yeah.
It's I really enjoy it. Like, I don't know what I can't remember what the defensive power play is, but there's another one where the coaches get to pick a play. So
Yes.
you might see some more strategic play calling, and it's just one play, which is cool. I like it.
It's an entertaining league, and like we always said, coming in, we were a little hesitant on it. Well, no, not necessarily hesitant. Either way, we were going to be on board with it. But I guess coming in, we didn't know what to expect. You never know what to expect when there's another league coming out on American soil that's football. The NFL obviously has just grown to where it's at now, to where there's no competition for another league to be on their level. So we didn't know what to expect, it's some good football. It's some good football, and you're giving these guys a chance to get some tape.
Definitely.
Get some
Definitely. There's been, dude, that the Glacier
Andrew
kids, the Glacier kids and the Zippers, there were some big catches in that game.
Snippers.
Like the Travis Toivonen, dude had like 2 one-handed catches like deep down the field, like twisting his body. It was pretty sweet. But we're at week 3. There's been 3 franchise tags used. So there's a third person franchise tag. What they're doing there is come playoff time. So there's going to be one more week after this. It's the 4th week, and then it's to the playoffs. So come playoff time, your starting 4, your core 4 are franchise players, and then you'll still redraft.
Wait, say that again. So how long is the regular season? Just 4 weeks?
4 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So basically what this is kind of like an experimental season, and then next year they'll have a full season. Hopefully next year they won't have to deal with COVID. Everybody will have vaccines. And
you think they're going to expand?
I think they'll add a few teams. I think if it's been successful enough, you could have 6 to 8 teams. I would not go above 8 though.
Right.
I would like to see a little bit more commitment from the other owners. You don't see a lot of tweets coming from the other owners. Like, that's the one thing about the Wild Aces is every single owner tweets about the Wild Aces.
Yeah.
You don't see that as much. You don't see Quavo. You don't see Richard Sherman. You don't see, honestly, Marshawn Lynch. None of them. They don't care.
I don't want to say that, but I'm going to.
That's the way it comes off.
It is. It is like when Richard Sherman hopped on last.
It was 2 weeks ago. It was week 1. He wasn't there last week.
Oh yeah, when week 1 when he hopped on, and again, I don't know what's going on in Richard Sherman's life. I don't know anything. I'm just going off of just what I saw. It just appeared as if, yeah, he wasn't. I'm just gonna be honest. If I'm the owner of a fan control football team, like majority owner, obviously Quavo and Richard Sherman are in destroying of the Glacier Boys are like majority owners. Seems like if you're gonna hop on and do an interview, you'd be, I'd have some Glacier Boy uniform on. I would be maybe sitting down in front of a television, like, okay, I'm actually watching. Now he seemed like he was like leaning over a counter and I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't want to look too much into it, and I'm not gonna sit here and speak poorly about that. I was just expecting more.
Be entertaining.
Yeah.
Come and talk some junk, because that's what was set up with this league. Everybody was talking junk. Talk junk. Who cares if you lose? Like, have some fun. They've shown with like their celebrations, and like every time someone gets drafted, there's smoke. They come out to the song that they select, and they have cool entrances. Like,
right.
They're going for that WWE vibe. A little bit less, a little bit more rules. Like,
yeah,
it's actually like playing out in front of us. It's not like it's predetermined, but there's no scripts. But it's fun. Like, that's what they need, is to be fun and entertain people. And that's what they need from Quavo. That's what they need from Marshawn Lynch and Richard Sherman.
I feel like they got to go above and beyond. They got to do some off the wall wild stuff.
I recommend looking up the interview with Greg Miller last night on that draft, because boy, nobody got the shtick. Who was talking about it. The main announcer, he got it, but Ray Austin, co-founder of the FCF, he was taking stuff personal. It's like, dude, he's not being serious. Like, when he talks about the league, that's when he's being serious, and you could tell. You can see the switch when he's acting and when he goes back into his normal personality. And that dude's an entertainer. And that's why I like his content so much. I like all their content over at Kind of Funny. So
that's funny stuff. That, pun intended. So the FCF. So again, Kind of Funny is a podcast that you've been listening to for what?
So it's like a channel. It's like a broadcast channel. They do YouTube, Twitch, but I started listening to their podcasts. Yeah, they've grown quite a bit.
They own Wild Aces.
Yes. Greg Miller's their CEO. He has their most followers. He has over 1 million followers. I think he's like pretty close to 1.5 million, if not 2 million. Yeah. And he's famous in video game circles. Everybody knows who Greg Miller is, but people know him outside of video game circles too. People know him from DC. He's a huge Batman fan. He's very boisterous. He's pretty loud, but he's just fun.
That's good. I mean, I think that like we always talk about, that's what they need. That's what the league needs. And the league, because okay, the NFL is a very entertaining league, but for the players, and no, it's obviously entertaining for the players, but the players are very limited. They're limited in expressing themselves. They're limited in expressing themselves off the field, but most importantly, limited in expressing themselves on the field. I mean, there's so much red tape, so much censorship. Excuse me. So if you're creating in the FCF league, another football league, I mean, let's be honest, the most exciting football league outside of the NFL on American soil has been the XFL.
That's the first iteration of the XFL.
Yeah. Yes. First one. Why? Because they were talking trash. They were doing fights. All kinds of stuff.
There were real fights.
Beer from
like
the fans.
The very first time, they had the scramble for who was going to get the kickoff, and the very first one, the dude separated his shoulder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
they do that.
We don't like to see people get hurt. I want to put that out there. We don't like to see people get hurt.
No.
But that was entertaining.
Yeah, let's just be honest.
And
yeah, we don't.
I do find this entertaining. I know Nick is watching from Knee Brace Radio. Go check them out over on twitch.tv/Knee Brace Radio, and check them out on Twitter, Knee Brace Radio. They have a podcast on all podcast services. Go check them out. Nick, friend of the pod. Nick, what did you think of your first FCF? Did you like it? Did you have a good time watching it with us? He hung out with us last week. It was a really good time. We had a lot of fun. Played some Rocket League afterwards. I was not expecting to be streaming for 5 hours. Next thing we look at the clock and it's, wow, we've been on here for a long time. My wife's gonna kill me. But it was fun. Like, that was the thing. Those 2.5 hours went so fast. And Dan the man just he threw out there good old he hate me. Everybody knows him. Rod Smart. He hate me.
Yeah. Last Saturday was fun. So we had Knee Brace on. Nick was on, and yeah, Nick, we're really interested to see, man. You know, what were your thoughts on that first go around of the FCF league? FCF league, yes.
Yeah.
But I like it. I'm a fan. I really like how 20-minute halves. It's different, but you know, we're talking college basketball here. 2 20-minute halves for the FCF league. So it's one of those where it's not gonna take up too much of your time. You know, if you're gonna sit down and watch an NFL game, you got to commit to about 3 hours, at least.
At least.
If there's no long time out.
Those the last 3.5 minutes of both halves take centuries.
Right.
Like NBA games.
NBA games. Jesus.
Don't get me started. I'm an old man. I got gray in my beard.
So you really got to commit. You really got to commit to those times, those games, NFL games. But FCF, a plus, a perk, a positive of it is you're talking 2 20-minute halves, and it goes by pretty quickly. So first week, they were still massaging out some bugs that they had, and we were about an hour and a half for a game.
Yeah.
First week, and then they fixed them. And now round 2, second week, we were done at it was about an hour and 10, I think it was.
Yeah, I would say each game was about an hour 10. The second game went faster than the first game. But there was some more miscommunication there at the end of the first game too.
That's true.
So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it is nice to have a faster game, but I felt like in the first game, what was it? The Beast had 2 possessions and the Wild Aces only had 1. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. So like, that's really different. You might only get 1 possession in a half. Like, I would like to see some more defensive plays too. I'm really hoping we see that this week. I think we will. I think we'll see a little bit better defensive play this week.
Mm-hmm. So I don't even remember. I don't pay attention to the clock. It's a continuous clock.
Yeah, it's a continuous clock till there's 1 minute left. Then at 1 minute, the first week it was at 2 minutes. Then they dropped it down to 1 minute because the last 2 minutes took too long in the first week.
Yeah.
So after 1 minute, after every play, no matter what, the clock stops.
Yeah. So that's why then, yeah, I mean, that's obviously why, yeah, you can maybe get 1 series on offense in the first half. That's crazy. That is crazy. You got to make it count.
Yeah, and if you keep holding them to like 3rd or 4th down, because there's no special teams, so everybody goes for it on 4th down.
Yeah.
So if you hold them till 4th down, like, and then they get it on 4th down, that takes so much clock every drive if they do that. So yeah, that's kind of what killed the Zippers last week was they kept scoring so fast and it let the Glacier Boys get back in it. And then obviously the fumble when they're going in to score to put it away doesn't help. That's returned for a touchdown. And, you know, it's a 12-point swing. So.
Right. Quick too. Yeah. It's a different, it's different. It's different, but
I like the differences.
I can tell. I agree. I agree. I just leave it at that. I agree. So that's the FCF league, you guys. It's exciting. We got the Wild Beasts, we got the Zappers, we got the Glacier Boys, and we have the Wild Aces. That's the four. That's the four teams right there.
That's correct.
The
And
four
then the
teams.
extra points are one-on-ones.
Oh yeah.
They're tough on the defense. I don't think we've seen a single one where a defender actually knocked the ball away. I'm pretty sure it's just been bad throws that have caused
I'm
them
not a
not
fan
to.
of it.
I like it. It just
Not a.
I don't know. They need. It almost needs like a person guarding the ball. You can't rush in, but like you can't let those easy. You wouldn't be able to let those easy passes go over the middle. That
Just
would
right
make
over the
it.
middle.
Yeah, that would make it a little bit better. I think you just have someone like face guarding, like they're taking a ball out of bounds in basketball.
Right. If I was a DB next time this week, if I was a DB or the coach, I would tell the DB, sit heavy inside. Screw it. Give him all the room he needs.
And then jump the out. Sit
Right.
heavy inside and then jump the out. And as soon as he comes into you, you put your hands on him, knock him down.
Yeah, because I'm not a fan of that, because that's very hard. For one, it's already extremely hard for a DB to cover in man to man. That's already difficult. Now you're actually taking away the line. So here's the thing, Russell Wilson. This is going to be a perfect segue too into the NFL. Russell Wilson, and a lot of quarterbacks actually train this way too. They throw the football, they do their drop back, do their regular drop back and stuff when they're training, and they throw the football over a soccer goal, and there's a receiver on the other end. Why? Because you're training yourself to throw over defenders. You're training yourself to throw over the line, the D line, over the linebackers, and just to drop it right there in front of the safeties, or maybe a little behind the safeties, what have you. The one-on-one in the FCF, excuse me, the quarterback can throw the ball straight over the line of scrimmage about 3.5, 4 feet off the ground. He could just like sidearm it if he wanted to. Like, and they gotta fix that. They do. Indeed, they do.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they have in store for us in week 3. And now fans can vote to challenge plays. So it's coming back. It's coming back. It has to after last week, because there were 2 plays that should have not transpired the way they did. I don't care what you say. That was a fumble. Or not a fumble. That was an incomplete pass, not a fumble.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing, is I don't know what the rules are in the FCF.
Even if it's college, dude never had control of the ball. That's not a catch.
Yeah.
He was bobbling it the entire time. But we hope that you guys will join us Saturday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. We're going to be watching FCF Week 3.
7 p.m.? I thought it was at 6 p.m. Central.
I'm pretty sure it's 7 p.m.
Or it's
Central.
7. Yeah,
It's 7. Right. It's 7. I know it's 7.
Okay.
Right before my kids go to bed. So the first game is Wild Aces and the Zippers. And the second game is the Glacier Kids and the Beasts. So we'll see who can come out on top there.
Wait, so you guys got you guys are playing an 0-2 team.
Yeah, we're playing the Zippers.
We're playing the best team, the Beasts.
I don't know if they're the best, but they're the luckiest.
So here's the thing. What's going to happen if we beat the Beasts? Are you going to say the Glacier Boys are better than the Wild Aces?
We already beat you.
But
we already beat you. I don't have to say anything.
We beat a team that you guys lost to. So
you beat a team that has an asterisk that is 2-0. If the zoo didn't have an outbreak of zebras, the Wild Aces win that game. That's all I'm saying. They win that game going away.
But they didn't.
So
but they did not, Dan the man.
It came down to the very last play. And that's fun for any league. So
that's true. I'll give it to you. I'll stop giving you crap about that. That was a very
No, you need to give me crap about it. We need to go back and forth. We need to have fun with it. That's the fun.
I did already enough, but at the end of the day, it was an exciting game. Down to the last play of the game.
Both of them did. Like the The second game, the Glacier Kids and the Zippers came down to a 2-point conversion. That was not just a little flub over the middle. That was an out route. That was a tough throw and a tough catch, and they got it.
I'm calling y'all the wild deuces or something. I'll figure out something.
Go for it. That's the thing about every other team. You know, they have no imagination. They don't know how to trash talk. They just say a bunch of things and hope that it sticks. But listen, we originated the trash talk. We started this. We're willing to go all the way.
We'll see. We will see. We will see. But I brought up Russell Wilson. I did bring up Mr. Wilson and how he trains. I watch how he trains on IG and stuff. That man gets after it, as we all know.
You mean Instagram?
I said IG, right?
I thought you said IGN. I thought you were talking about the video game website.
No, I said IG. Now, with Russell Wilson, RJ, obviously everyone knows that Russell is not having the best of times in Seattle right now.
Can you explain to me why? Like, what's going on that he's not? I haven't really heard anything other than he's talking about asking for a trade. But I saw today he hasn't asked for one, but he has a list of teams that he wants to go to, but he hasn't asked for a trade.
I'm not understanding it. I'm really not, because I've heard that he's walked out on a few meetings as well.
He's heard from the horse's mouth, because I don't know if you know this, but he knows Russell Wilson.
Right?
Russell, you cost him a Heisman. We haven't forgotten.
I'll never forget. I still have nightmares about it. But I'm not understanding, right? I'm not understanding what's happening, because everybody's saying it right now, and I 100% agree. Before I even talk about trading Russell Wilson, I'd fire Pete Carroll.
I'd fire everybody. I'd fire the owner. Pitchforks, torches, the whole works.
The chef, team chef, masseuse. You're gone. We're cutting as much fun.
Your pet dog, we'll trade it out for whatever you want.
So I'm not understanding what's happening, because it seems like it just came out of nowhere, right? You would think that Russell has been in it's just been in complete bliss. It seems like it's just been
I think it started towards the end of the season. There was a disagreement on the philosophy of the offense. Russell liked he liked the offense the first half of the season, basically, because the first 8 games they were rolling on offense.
They were.
The last 8 games they were struggling. Some of that has to do with injuries. Some of that has to do with philosophy.
Yeah.
They fired their offensive coordinator, and I don't think that Russell thought it was the offensive coordinator. I think he thinks it's Pete Carroll. And I think that that's where it started, but I don't know what's happened since to make it even more, because I haven't even heard who they hired for offensive coordinator, but you got Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett. You're airing it out a little bit.
Right.
So whether you want to establish the run or not, I mean, look at how that's helped the Packers the last 2 years. Look at the Vikings. Look at, the 49ers last year when they were healthy. You look at the Chiefs. Like, everybody runs the ball quite a bit. Quite a lot more than you'd think, especially like the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. All the good teams, they actually run the ball more. So,
right. And that's such a good point, actually. I didn't even think about.
Yeah, because the only reason that I know this is because after the Packers draft, and I was talking about them going to more 12 personnel, I was talking junk about them going 12 personnel. And then it turned out that the top 5 teams last year ran 12 personnel most of the time. Or the year before, 2019, not 2020. So
they ran 12 or 21?
12.
Personnel. 12?
Yeah, okay. Two tight end, single back, which is what the Packers drafted for. They drafted a tight end and a big back, so.
Yeah. 12 personnel is... I'm not really the biggest fan of it.
It depends on your tight ends, right? I mean, the Chiefs ran 12 personnel a lot, actually. And it makes sense if you have a good blocking tight end and you have a good receiving tight end. Like, the Chiefs have. So
We
it makes
ran a
sense.
lot.
You ran it a lot. Tennessee ran it the most. And that makes sense with Derrick Henry, Jonnu Smith, and I'm blanking
Yeah.
on the backup's name, but he was really good when he got an opportunity. So
It is effective if you have the right personnel. I mean, we had
it's
we ran
Jonnu.
a lot.
Is Delaney Walker still there? Delaney Walker left last year, didn't he?
Laney Walker, I'm not sure where he's at actually.
I'll look it up.
Chargers? No. But we ran a lot of 12 because we had again you need a catching tight end and you need a tight end that's really good at blocking. We had Virgil Green, who was our blocking tight end, and then we had Julius Thomas, of course, who was our receiving tight
Who's
end.
Julius Thomas?
So we ran a lot of that.
What happened to him?
Living in Florida now. He's living in Tampa, Jacksonville, in the Jacksonville area, living down there. But what is going on? What is going on in Seattle? What is happening? It seemed like it came out of nowhere. Russell wants out. And the 4 teams that Russell stated that he would go to. So here's the thing, before I even actually mention those 4 teams, Russell's contract, he has a no trade clause in there. So he's completely steering the show. If he wants to walk out and leave, he can just walk out and leave to another team. Because if I'm saying this correctly, which I'm sure I am, Seahawks do not have the option of unilaterally trading Russell, meaning they can't just wake up one day and say, we want to get rid of Russell, let's trade him for somebody, and not get Russell's input on it. He has that in his clause, no trade clause in there. So if he wants to leave, he can just leave to a team.
I believe that's the same way with Watson in Texas or Houston.
Nice. So Russell's agent, Mark Rogers, I believe, got a really good one. That's a damn good thing to put into your second contract. Maybe it's second. Yeah,
it's a
so
second.
4 teams. We got Raiders, we got Saints, we got Bears, and we have Cowboys. Those are the 4 teams that Russell stated that he would go to. But it's weird. I'll let you chime in on that, RJ. So we hear that he has not stated that he wants a trade, but then we now have heard the 4 teams that he would go to. Does that make any sense?
My guess is he's saying if, he's putting an ultimatum out there. This is his ultimatum. He hasn't asked for a trade yet. But he's got his teams picked out. And if you don't give me what I want on offense, I'm asking for a trade, and that's it. You're going to pick one of these teams, and they ain't going to give you a very good package because the Bears don't have any picks to give. The Bears are still giving their picks for Khalil Mack.
So true. If I had 2 teams, though, I would pick the Saints and the Bears is where he would land. Bears, they would have to do some.
Drew Brees hasn't retired yet. How would the Saints?
I think the Saints would pull a New England Patriots and Tom Brady conversation, a Colts, Peyton Manning conversation, where it's that's going to be a very awkward. If he does go to the Saints, that'd be a very awkward conversation that they're going to have with Drew Brees.
I don't even know if Drew Brees is coming back. That's the thing. The way that the season ended, it seemed like Brees was done. Like,
right? But
he was packing out. So,
right. I can see him.
Dan the man. That's why he said he wanted to stay in Seattle, but those are the teams he'd go to. That's why I think he gave him an ultimatum.
That sounds about right. An ultimatum, when you think about it. So I had no clue that he had issues with, but obviously if you look at the entire picture, it makes sense. First 8 games they were balling, and then the last 8 games they fell to like you would think that they were the 29th, 28th ranked team in the NFL at that
because
time.
They were.
Jeez, and that quick turnaround just does not happen. I mean, that's clearly again you have injuries, but come on. You don't drop off like that. That's coaching personnel for sure. Something's going on in those coaching meetings that shouldn't be going on, because you shouldn't have a team like that fall from. They were arguably the number 1 team in the NFL for the first 8 weeks, and then they fell to the bottom.
How dare you?
The bottom. I said arguably. I mean, you put them up there with the Packers. You put them up there with the Chiefs, and you put him up there with the Steelers early on. So
The Steelers until Bud Dupree got hurt.
right. So Russell Wilson, where is he gonna go? Where do you think where do you think he'll land? If
He's not going
he
anywhere. He's staying in Seattle. I don't think he's going anywhere.
It'd be so weird to see him in another uniform. This sudden. So we have that. And then we obviously
What were the 4 teams again?
Raiders, Saints, Bears, and Cowboys.
The Cowboys were the one that I couldn't remember.
So Dak will be coming back, of course, but
yeah, they're gonna have to tag him.
Yeah,
and because it's the second year, they said he gets like a 20% raise or something like that. So they'd be paying him a lot of money.
True.
Dak's getting some money. It's just a matter of how much.
Right.
Bringing us back to Patty Swags' prediction from earlier in the year. If people don't remember that name,
Patty Swags.
Patty Swags. He thought that Dak was going to leave the Cowboys and go to the Browns, and Baker was going to be done. I don't know how that looks. Right now because Baker ended up pretty good, but I think Dak would be an upgrade over Baker.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And I'd love to see Dak Prescott not be in a Cowboys uniform. I would love to see it.
Would he really, really just flourish at? I think he would.
The Saints.
Probably the Rams. That'd be a sad
in LA. Well, the LA just traded a first-round pick for Matthew Stafford, so
that's right. They did do that. Jesus.
You know where he would flourish. You want to know where he would flourish? The San Francisco 49ers.
See, I can't because Jimmy G, man, I'm telling you.
Dude, they could cut him this year. Jimmy G's the truth.
I think, okay, when I say truth, I'm not saying he's like a Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers or a Tom Brady. I'm just saying, like, I think the money that they paid him, he deserves. Because when he first got there, he played very well. I think he only played, like, they only had like 3 games left or something like that. He balled out. And then the second year, he played very well. He's playing good
played
football
adequate.
until he got injured. And then Kittle got injured, I think, around the same time. So they were very beat up.
I would say last year, he was their weakest link. He's the reason they didn't win the Super Bowl. He's the reason. I don't know. I'm not sold on him. I don't think he's worth that money. And if he wants that money, again, I don't think he ain't getting it. And he ain't going to be a 49er. And I think they're going to cut him.
I'd pay. He's worth more to me than Carson Wentz. Than Wentz's money, or
only because he doesn't turn the ball over like Wentz does. Like Wentz has a little bit of Jameis Winston in him. Wentz will, he'll force it, but like Jameis Winston, Wentz can carry a football team to the playoffs. I think Jameis Winston has that opportunity, has that ability. It's going to be interesting to see. So Drew Brees is not retired yet. If he retires, Sean Payton said that Jameis Winston is going to be the quarterback over Taysom Hill. Said that today. So
Taysom's not a quarterback. He's just an athlete.
Yeah, absolutely. So that would be very interesting seeing Jameis with a different offensive coordinator and someone who takes risks. So
I'm not on Wentz.
I think that Wentz is better than what he showed. I do. Part of his problem is, part of Wentz's problem. So Jameis, I think Jameis is perfectly fine. I think he's a perfectly fine quarterback as long as he can take care of the ball.
I don't see it. I don't see what everybody else sees. He threw 30 plus touchdowns, but he also threw 30 plus interceptions.
But he led comebacks too. Like it wasn't like he didn't lead comebacks. Like he put up some big numbers. He also did turn the ball over, and part of that's ball security, like how you're holding the football, which you probably worked on all last year.
Right.
Another one is instead of trying to
win.
Yeah. Tom turned the ball over a little bit this year too, and he had the same.
He
did. I don't know. I just think that sitting back and watching how Drew Brees does it, having that mentor that Jameis may have never had ever. that might do something for you compared to, I don't know. I think Carson Wentz has shown that he can carry a team. And I think that Carson Wentz has the opportunity now with a healthy cast around him. Because none of the wide receivers the past 2 years have been healthy for the Eagles. I mean, he was thrown to Greg Ward was his big weapon. And can you name who the other two were? Yeah, me either. And they were down to like their third running back. Like Ertz was hurt. You had Dallas Goedert was hurt. What's that?
Or is he in? He's in Dallas. No, wait. Where's Miles Sanders at?
Miles Sanders is Philadelphia. He was hurt. Yep. He was hurt for a lot of the year.
Whew. Yeah, that was a beat up team. God dog.
Yeah, and then you had your starting left tackle get hurt. Like their entire offensive line was hurt. So Dan the Man makes a good point with a great old line in Indy and JT running the football.
That always helps.
You never know. Michael Pittman's starting to come through a little bit.
I'm not sold on Wentz in Indianapolis. I just don't.
I don't think they're an instant Super Bowl contender, but I'm just saying he's got a chance to prove himself, and he might be worth the money. Whereas I don't think Jimmy G is worth the money. He's got a lot of talent in San Francisco.
He does.
And they were in some really good games. I thought CJ Beathard was the best quarterback there. So I'm wrong because CJ Beathard was benched, but
it's hard to disagree with you on that. I like Jimmy G. I guess I when I was on the P squad in the Patriots, I was always with him, always chatting with him, always going over plays with him. So I'm a little biased, of course. He's a great dude. But
well, that's probably because you locked eyes with him and his gorgeous good looks like hypnotized you to make you think he was better than what he was.
Kent, I always get Superman's name wrong. Clark Kent or Kent Clark?
Clark Kent.
You know what I'm saying? Like they can. It seems like it'd be interchanging though. I mean, I'm just gonna call him Kal-El though. But
there you go, Kal-El.
But okay, so you think Russell's staying in Seattle? Yeah.
This quarterback musical chairs is not over. It's going to be really interesting the rest of the offseason because Deshaun Watson met with the coach for the first time, and Watson said, "I am done. I'm not playing for Houston. I will sit out." So
his career's a waste.
I still think Miami's a possibility there.
I can see that.
That team, they have enough picks, and they could trade Tua, which would be very...
Tua. What is Tua?
It would be very... That's attractive. That's a very attractive trade offer. 2 first-round picks and Tua. Who turns that down?
It's hard to say no to that. 2 first rounds?
Yeah.
Oof. Hard. That's hard. That's hard.
You trade a first this year, and you trade a first in 2 years.
Right.
Not next year, but 2 years.
That'd be hard. You can really build the defense with that.
Not just, really, I mean,
I'm thinking defense. If I had 2 first-round picks in 2 consecutive years of the draft, I'm going defense. I'm getting me a Von Miller or a Chubb or a...
You ain't getting that if you ain't top 10 though. And if the Dolphins get Deshaun Watson, they ain't gonna be top 10.
I can actually see him going. To Miami. But okay. So Russell, if he left Seattle, my picks are Bears, Saints. If he left Seattle, where do you see? If you had to guess. Or maybe he's just throwing those 4 out there, but it's really another team that's not even in the 4.
I think Dallas would go all out for him.
Yeah.
I think Dallas would pull out all the stops. Like, who do you want on our team? Not a single person. You want Zeke Elliott? He's not untouchable. You can have him.
Right.
I think Jerry Jones is at the point where he's desperate to win.
Gotta do something.
So he's willing. He would be willing to back up the Brinks truck and give all the number 1 picks that he has for the rest of his life for Russell Wilson. For as long as I'm alive, you can have our first round pick. Just give us Russell Wilson.
Russell's one of those players, man, that the way he plays football, obviously, knock on wood, hopefully he never experiences a significant injury, really any injury, but a significant one. He's one of those players where just by how he plays that position, that dude can play 20 years for sure. Just by how mobile he is, just the way he plays. I can
Yeah.
see him playing 20 years. No doubt. But okay.
All right, let's get to the boring one.
JJ Watt.
He narrowed it down to 3 teams, but I don't believe those are the only 3. So,
JJ?
yeah, he said the Titans, Packers, and gosh darn it, Buffalo. Titans, Buffalo, and Packers.
We all know I'm a Badger fan, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say this, and I'll be honest. I think whatever team that's gonna take JJ is gonna pay too much.
I agree. I kind of hope it's not the Packers for that very reason.
That's too.
But if he's willing to take a discount, if he takes a discount and it's like $6 million signing bonus and $2 million this year, that's cheap as heck. Like he ain't playing for that, right?
Dan the man said Russ would make the Cowboys contenders again. That's for sure. Absolutely, Dan. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would really hate to see him in a Cowboy uniform, but that's what I kind of see. Yeah, I think JJ's signing for 12 to 13, 14 million. I think it's only going to be a 1-year deal.
How much money he had, and again, I'm not going to be biased because he's played for the Badgers. I'm just not. We just got to be real here. He has not finished. Last season was the first time he's finished a season, I think, in 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's why I think it's too much money. But I have a feeling he's going to be 12 to 14 million is what it's going to be.
That's ridiculous. And hey, more power to him though. Now, more power to him. Get that money, that's for sure. But any team that's going to be willing to pay that's too much money. I mean, he's not as dominant in my opinion as he used to be.
He's not.
I mean, you can't be after you 2 back surgeries. And he has his elbow or arm injury, whatever it is. I mean, he's getting up there in age.
His back.
2 back surgeries. I mean, I would not be playing anymore. But that's my opinion on that. Whatever team that's going to take him, they're going to pay too much money. Because he's no longer durable. He's not. And I'm not saying that in a negative light. I wasn't durable. I tore my groin twice, but he can't come out and ask for 15, 16 mil, which I hope he does. And if the team pays him, good for him. But I would assume if he came to the Packers, he would ask for a hometown discount. A hometown discount.
That's what the Packers have to shed 20 million in salary to get under the cap right now. That's why that's why I said they'll give him a high signing bonus. It won't be a very high number for a salary. I could see it all being guaranteed though.
Yeah.
I could honestly see him giving him, let's say, $6-7 million signing bonus and then $6 million guaranteed or something like that. And maybe he would sign with that. Maybe he wouldn't. I don't know. But that's right. If the Packers get him, it's going to be something like that. My dream contract would be $6 million signing bonus, $2 million guaranteed.
Right.
On a prove it deal.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is if I
Dan the man says if he signs with the Packers, he'd be number 1 in jersey sales.
Yep.
You're right.
And that's what I was about to say is if I'm JJ and if the Packers are coming after me heavy, I want all the money. That's just the reason why. If he plays for your guy, if he
you're saying from the jersey sales,
just from everything, he's gonna sell out. Well, you guys already sell
sponsorships,
but he's gonna. Yeah, I mean, come on.
He's not Aaron Rodgers.
True, but he's gonna be in that commercial right with him. He's gonna be in that commercial right with him. I bet you they're gonna boot Drake from that State Farm commercial and slide in JJ. Or Mahomes will probably get out. Who knows? But
Mahomes ain't getting out.
Right.
Aaron's getting out before Mahomes gets out. You don't let him go.
True. Long story short, on my end, my opinion about it is I want for him to go and get as much money as he can. I advocate for the players. But if I'm a team, I'm not going to pay him that much money.
I think he's going to Buffalo. I said that was the first team I said. I think that's where he's going. So either way, I don't think it's got as much.
The weather would suck.
I don't think he's gonna make as much of a difference as people are making out to be.
I don't think so either.
I think on a future podcast we need to talk about whether we think he's Hall of Fame worthy or not. It's an interesting conversation when you look at his numbers. So
he's got good numbers.
So let's get to the Major League Baseball talk because we haven't talked it in a couple weeks. I've been itching. Listen, I got on Twitter. I heard the snap of that catcher's mitt from the ball thrown from the pitcher's hand. I'm ready. I've immediately taken back. And then you know what happened? 2 days later, you want to know what happened 2 days later? All the snow started melting because the weather turned and it got nice because it's springtime. And spring means mud, and mud means baseball. And it's baseball season, baby. Let's listen to the crack of those wood bats. Let's watch these players get these contracts that are ridiculous, and I don't understand them, but good for them. Good for them.
Over a span of 10 years.
Some of them. I mean, so Fernando Tatis, anybody who doesn't know, very exciting baseball player, shortstop. For the San Diego Padres, he got 14 years, $340 million, all guaranteed. 14 years. Dude's like 21, 22 years old. So
wait, how did he sign a contract like that young?
It's baseball.
But 21 years.
They're keeping him locked up. I'm pretty sure he came up at 19, 20. Ooh. So he skipped AAA. He came right up from AA.
Not imagine that. Gosh.
So
what's the signing bonus?
Well, I mean, it's all guaranteed. So
he's set forever at 21.
Yeah, he's paying for all his family's needs.
Sorry, go ahead.
Trevor Bauer, I don't know if you know that name. He signed for 3 years, $100 million.
Whoa!
I can look it up. So
$30 million a year.
It might have been 3. Oh, maybe it was 4 years, 100 million. Either way, this is a Jared Goff contract. That's exactly who this is Jared Goff. This is going to come back to bite them in the butt. It was to the LA Dodgers. If anybody can, take that, the Dodgers make a lot. They make probably the second most money next to the Yankees. They have a very, very good pitching staff. He's going to throw a lot of innings, but this dude, 3-year, $102 million contract with the Dodgers.
That's nice.
He was a Cy Young winner last year, which means he was the best pitcher in the National League, or voted as the best pitcher. I don't know. He's had very good years before, but he's blown up a lot, and I think he's going to blow up again. I don't trust it. I don't trust those. I could not believe it when I saw what he got. Like, oof. I don't know. I don't know about it.
I mean,
the Jared Goff contract didn't work out for the Rams.
Right.
The only thing is you can eat a contract in Major League Baseball. It's probably only 2 years because he's probably going to opt out after the second year. Unless he pitches poorly. And there's been a lot of pitching contracts that have not worked out. So Dan the Man says that less than 5 years, you're going to have $1 billion baseball contract. The thing is, baseball keeps making money. All the baseball teams keep making money. It's that baseball is suffering from a marketing problem, and it starts at the top. I love the sport. I love it because I grew up on it. I grew up playing it. I like, the Brewers have been good. They've been very creative. There's all these young players. You have Fernando Tatis. You did it a little bit. You had a chance to do more with Bryce Harper, Mike Trout. Who could be the best baseball player ever. You've had a chance to really market him, and you haven't done it. And they keep saying that they need the baseball players to market themselves. That's a cop-out answer. That's such a cop-out answer.
That's a terrible response.
I think Bob Manfred's just awful for the sport. I think he's done everything he can to kill it. And I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited because Arenado goes to the Cardinals. I saw the.
I'm a Cardinals fan, by the way.
You're a Cardinals fan in name only.
Man. But I've been watching.
I saw the probabilities to win the Central and the NL Central. The Cardinals were number one at like 51%. And then the Brewers were right behind at 48%. And I was like, I'll take that. Because the Brewers have a signing coming. I don't know who it's going to be, but it's going to be someone. And it's going to be, my eyes are going to get wide. Like, I can't believe they just pulled that deal off. Because they always have one. They always have one.
I've been watching Nolan. Nolan is exactly what the Cardinals needed. You needed that player because we us Cardinals fans, we
what kind of player is that?
No, sorry. I was gonna mention I'm drawing a blank here. Catcher. Yadier. Sorry. Yadier, we all just hang our hats on, our hat on Yadier as our like big time player. Nolan is exactly what we needed. We needed somebody like that.
You've had Paul Goldschmidt.
So to those who are just tuning in, when I was out in Denver playing for the Broncos, I'm familiar with Nolan because I used to go to Coors Field and watch. And I'm like, who's this number 28 just cranking them home runs left and right. Obviously, figured out who Nolan was. Long story short, I'm very, very happy that we snatched him from the Rockies. He's gonna be that player that we need. We need that David Freese type player back.
Now you're just saying words you don't even know.
Nolan Freese, when Freese was with the Cardinals,
he had one good postseason and that was it.
Yeah, it was awesome. That home run he hit.
It was awesome. But I'm just saying he wasn't a great player.
I loved it.
He was a role player.
Like 2011 when he cranked that. It was 2011 season. Yeah. Cranked that. But that's what we need. That's what
I love it.
Freese was a good player for his role player, but he did his job.
He was fine.
He showed up in the big games and made some great plays. Great play. Nolan
we needed that David Freese player, so we got Nolan Arenado.
What?
It's just funny. It's funny. It's cute.
Why? No. Why is it
I said it like that on purpose.
No.
Because you're starting. You're starting to get into baseball, and like what happens in the playoffs isn't necessarily what carries people there. So like there's always these players that have really great postseasons. Last year was a Rosarena for the Rays that was just electric and on fire. Right. And that might have put him into stardom because he looked good in the regular season. But David Freese and Jeff Suppan are like the two players that I could think of off the top of my head. They both happen to be Cardinals. They had these runs in the postseason and then never lived up to the hype after that. They were fine. But like the Brewers gave Suppan a big contract and he never lived up to it and he screwed their books over for like 5-6 years. And then David Freese goes to the Pirates when the Pirates were about to contend and screws those books over and he never lives up to the hype either. And
what if it's the system though? What if it's the system? I mean, we talk about Russell and they screw up the last 8 games of his season, this past season, the system. So I guess my question is, do you think that Nolan's not going to ball out in the playoffs? I mean,
He may not. I mean, look at the Cubs,
like,
Chris Bryant, and
has he even been? I think the Rockies went once, twice, maybe.
Twice. He's been to the playoffs. They got swept. I don't even think they scored a run against the Brewers. I think no. Nolan's a really good player. Nolan's probably a Hall of Fame player. That's why I was laughing comparing that to David Freese, because Nolan is so much. Honestly, this is exactly like the trade that they made for Paul Goldschmidt. And a lot of people forget about Paul Goldschmidt because he hasn't put up the numbers like he did earlier in his career in Arizona. The Cardinals always end up getting a trade like this and trading like Matt Holliday. They traded with the Rockies, and Holliday was awesome. You know, there's I can't even think off the top of my head, but it just seems like the Cardinals always have these players that are going to be Hall of Famers, or they trade for players who are going to be Hall of Famers.
Okay, so bad comparison, but the way that I'm looking at it is the Cardinals are always a good team. We don't have to struggle to make it to the playoffs.
Yes, you do.
Like the Brewers. So
okay,
I'm looking forward to when I start watching baseball, which is the playoffs, for Nolan to show up like Freeze showed up.
okay,
I gotta correct it. Gotta
hopefully he shows up like Freeze shows up. It's probably gonna be a young player, because there's always some young player who's not even a prospect that comes up and balls out for the Cardinals and like helps them get to the playoffs. And it's like, oh goodness, I don't even get it. I don't get it. But
can't watch baseball at the beginning.
Like Jack Flaherty, like where did he come from? He wasn't a prospect, and all of a sudden he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. It's like, what? But
I like those stories.
Dan the Man is asking me about the Colton Wong signing for the Brewers, and I love it. Hira was not. He was not defensively holding up his end of the bargain at second base. They're moving to first base. It's opened up some possibilities in the lineup. They got a player with a really good on-base percentage. I think he can be a 280 hitter, and I think he's got 20 home runs, which is a really solid player. That's exactly what they need. But more importantly, he's going to be a 380 on-base guy, which is even more what they needed. Last year, I'm pretty sure they were worse. They were either 29th or 30th in on-base percentage, which is just awful. So we'll see what they can do.
I think those batting averages are awful. You already know my opinion on that. 280, that's awful to me. It's awful.
280 10 years ago wasn't good either. But the way that baseball's changed in the past few years, and I don't like the change, but it's changed, and you got to roll with the punches.
Sorry, if you're a professional, I expect you to hit that ball or get somebody on base 5 out of 10 times, 50%, 500 batting average. That's what I want.
You're talking on base percentage because you said get on base, but
those two different stats.
Yeah,
See, that's a problem in baseball.
There are too many stats.
God, dog.
I don't even know what half stats mean. Like, I see a bunch of stuff. I'm like, yeah, that sounds really good. You're making a really good point. Like, that nine WOBA is way better or not WOBA. OPS is, which I know what that is, but I'm just throwing stuff out there.
You could have said anything. Not a believer.
Your OPS plus is, so much higher than everybody else's. I can't believe it. Oh wait, that's not bad. But yeah, they got Wong for a pretty good price too, which helps a lot. So, and Lorenzo Cain comes back, that helps. And Dan the Man just made that point, was Cain's coming back and it'll help. So yeah, Lorenzo Cain he's really good. I really hope that Orlando Arcia, the shortstop, can finally take that step. I really hope he can take that step, because Orlando Arcia is so good at short. You have to play him. The thing is, he just hasn't been able to hit like you'd want. So
you guys got some players.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be contending. But there's a reason that with basically no pitching staff, they're at 48% to win the Central. And it's because they might be able to piece it together. Their pitching staff wasn't why they didn't make the playoffs last year, why they had a really bad year last year. It was their offense. And their offense is normally pretty good. Starting with Christian Yelich. He's got to bounce back.
So I'm saying
He has to.
His pockets are too heavy.
That could be.
His wallet is too heavy. He's about to Chris Johnson it.
Yeah.
He's about to Chris Johnson it. Chris Johnson balling out 2,000 yard season. Then he'll come back, and I don't think he ran for another first down when he got that contract.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's Yelich for you. No, I'm kidding.
CJ2K. That's a good name to throw out there, by the way.
CJ2K. That brings us back, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. We're old.
Gosh,
we're old.
Fine. Then you got AP who comes off torn ACL in some HGH and then runs for 2,000 yards.
Just give me that shot, coach. Give me that shot.
It's like, hold on, son. You're sprinting already. You just tore your ACL 6 weeks ago. So,
yeah.
But
that cat's a different. He's not human.
He's
just different. So it is going to be exciting. I'm very excited for it to be here. Is there anything else you want to touch on?
No, man. We covered a lot. I just realized what time it is.
I know. So
good.
Yeah, I mean, baseball is going to be fun to watch. We got a lot of action happening on the football side. The draft is going to be coming up here shortly. NCAA tournaments coming up here very quick.
Wait, real quick. What are they doing with the combine, the NFL combine?
It's just pro days this year, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Dang.
So, well, let's try to be better to each other. Let's enjoy some FCF on Saturday. Join us 7 p.m. Central Time. Watch the Wild Aces take down the Zippers.
Zappers.
Join us for the game after. We'll watch the Beasts beat those icy boys, those icy kids.
Ice in our veins, Dan the man.
Whatever
they're ice in our veins.
Whatever they are, the Ferrets, and we'll go from there. So everybody have a good week. Oh, one programming note: I work on Sunday morning, so we're gonna be pushing our stream on Sunday back to the afternoon. We'll let you know the exact time when it gets a little bit closer. But yeah, we hope you tune in for that one because we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun on that one. I'm really excited to show some stuff off. So yeah, join us for that one as well. It'll be Sunday between 1 and 3. We'll be on.
I've yet to see these effects, by the way. So I'm
just letting the cat out of the bag.
Just as much in the dark. Oh, well, I mean, I haven't, so I don't even know what it is.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We're pretty soon we'll be moving from amateur to professional. So everybody, you have a good weekend. We'll catch up on Sunday, and thanks for tuning in. FCF week 3. Here we go. Before we take off, thank you A10, Bloodluster, Commander Brute, Dan the Man, J Henry 881, and Nick from Knee Brace Radio, Silly Gnome 225. Go check out Knee Brace Radio. Everybody, you have a good night. Thank you.